do it simply and then we go from
Start and then we go from maybe it's streaming.
Yeah.
Okay, great.
So it's 12:15. Sanity check. Which course are we in?
Colors.
Colors. Okay, slightly wrong department, but yeah, sure. Color will do. Graphics programming it is, of course. You guys remember me probably from Cloud, right? Some with fear and some with satisfaction that they're done with that course. But so this semester, fourth semester of your bachelor is correct? Fourth semester mostly. You have graphics programming, right? So that's one of the key courses here when it comes to the kind of game track. We don't have this clear delineation and application and game anymore, so anyone can really pick anything if they want to. But this is more along the lines, okay, how would you actually go about, or starting to go about developing games, particularly with respect to, of course, graphics, right? So you have a graphics card in your machine, you use it, but only using, games or, perhaps normal, regular GUI-based applications, but it would be interesting to see, okay, can you actually program them? Can you use it more sensibly or create your own worlds, basically? That's what this course is about. So why am I here? I think I was coordinating this course for the previous 2 years. Anyway, I was one. But I found a very valuable, much more competent successor. So Paul Anders Schlor, who will be a coordinator and lecturer in this entire course for you here. But I just want to give you a brief rundown about the infrastructure, how the course will most likely be run, what we'll be using, and who will be involved as well. So, of course, it's Paul Anders. Do you want to say a few words about yourself?
I'm a researcher here at ED. I'm working on these PILCAM applications. So I'm looking into how you construct 3D models based on PILCAM images. So this is basically why I come in here from sort of like the more theoretical side of things. That doesn't mean I'm going to give a very theoretical set of lectures though, but it will be a practical layout on it as it used to be at this level, basically.
But very much inspired by research, right? So it's really you're getting kind of impact or influence and probably insights from latest development in areas, especially in terms of 3D reconstruction, 3D model building, because that's some of the aspects you want to think about as well, right? So that you want to learn and apply as well as the course. In addition to Paul Anders, who's responsible, there is a designated teaching assistant at this stage. And some of the students are convinced to become teaching assistants in this course. Both of them have taken the course before. Carl, do you want to say a few words about yourself? Or?
Yeah, my name is Carl. Probably a lot of you know me from being cloud coder before, or if you don't, that's fine. Nobody showed up for that anyway.
That's direct, yeah.
It's true. I love graphics programming and a bit of the C++ fanatics, so this should be fun to get you guys to suffer through this.
And we have Leon. Hello, Leon.
I have taken this course before. I guess I can say at the very least that I probably know a little bit more than you guys about it. Maybe I can help some of you.
Don't scare away. So that's for later, right? So this course is quite demanding. No discussions about it. Many of the past students, I'm not sure if you would echo that, but many of the past students have said this is one of the most challenging courses that you have in the degree, but conversely also one of the most rewarding ones, right? Because you can be really creative, right? So you can really do something, develop something that's visual first of all, that's novel, that no one has done, and you can actually control, your actual hardware much more than in many other courses that we actually provide. So there's a lot of opportunities, and the learning opportunities are endless. I think Carl will eventually show some examples of past work. I think next week.
Tomorrow it was, I think.
Tomorrow,
Thursday. Yeah, so next session.
And you'll see what the boundaries are, and they are very high. So you can push it quite a bit, and hopefully the kind of course provides the opportunity. Anyway, but before I talk even more about this, which I shouldn't because I'm not really, I'm barely here. Talk about teaching assistants. I think it's important to get a feeling about you first, in the first instance. So how many of you are actually in the Bachelor of Programming? So yeah, I recall. Yeah, and you guys are in Are you international students?
International students.
Okay, for 1 semester, 1 year?
1 semester.
This is our last semester.
Oh, your last semester. So you have fairly good experience with us already. Okay, right. So cool. So any other kind of degree I've missed out on? No? BPROG and international? Good. So okay, let's switch to Norwegian then. So to make the international sweat. No, I'm just kidding. I think that is then the sentiment that the lectures of course have.
Yeah.
Right. So get some. Who has background in graphics? Who did something in terms of graphics programming already? No? No one? Anything? No? It's cool. I mean, there's no prior whatever. It's just interesting because oftentimes you have people that have some experience already, be it 3D modeling or playing around with shaders or the like. But that's cool. So that's perfectly fine. What I'll be talking about. Any expectations, perhaps, you guys regarding the course?
A lot of math.
Oh, cool. Is that a positive anticipation or an expectation? Do you want this, or do you fear that it's going to happen? This fear is going to happen. Okay, good. Nice one, though. So put maths in. That's good. Okay.
Yep.
Other
Sure.
other expectations? You guys have picked this course with a purpose, I suspect. Come on. What do you think the course is about or should be about? Because to some extent there's flexibility in the latter part in particular to see, what you can learn that we actually didn't think about in the first place, right? So you're kind of stimulating and shaping the course. It's different from many other courses where it's a bit more set, but here this course is a bit open-ended to some extent. No other expectations?
Why did you sign up?
That is the essential question, that's right. Or we just let him reflect for an hour and come back then?
Yeah, maybe we could.
Yeah, that would work. Let him breathe a bit and move.
Yeah.
Nothing else? Seriously? I mean, maths is good. So you're out. You're good. Yeah, you manage. So anyone else needs to give an answer now. Sorry?
I expect people to ask questions if they struggle for too long.
You hear that, right?
Definitely.
Ask questions if you struggle too long. Why? Just a follow-up. Why?
Otherwise, you might find yourself failing quickly.
Voice of reason.
One of my expectations is getting a bit better at C++.
Okay, yeah, that's a sensible expectation. Part of the objectives of this course is to brush up on the latest feature of C++ in particular, and of course in conjunction with GPU interaction, of course. But yes, that's a sensible expectation. So, yep. Any other expectation? Okay. So you don't need to do too much here in this course, right? You can just lean back because there's little expectation. So not sure if they want to learn anything. So let's hope that builds up over time. Right? I think that should build up over time. Cool. You guys, further expectations?
Somewhat like last year's.
Okay. Cool. Well, we'll see. Things change. We want to be stuck in the past necessarily, but there will be interesting discussions to be had, and I think there will be interesting inputs from Carl in particular. Last year did some really good talks about advanced programming environments, and of course from the research perspective. So one of the aspect I want to talk about is infrastructure. So most of you are probably used to Blackboard, right, as a tool. Anyone who saw us before, us meaning Marj or me, means you saw GitLab before. Who is not acquainted with GitLab and hasn't heard about it? Just hands up, please. Everyone cool about it? Used GitLab before? Good, cool. You all signed up to our GitLab, not the GitLab.com? The NTNews one? Yeah, good. All right. So graphics, the same thing. Polander sent out via Blackboard, I think, an announce.
Yeah, the link should be on Blackboard.
Right. You received this via your NTNU email, I think. Right. So click on it and then request access if you haven't already, and then we can grant the access. See who is already. Yeah, I'm not doing that. Otherwise, you'll be on stream. That's probably privacy violating. So we'll intermittently grant you access. But fundamentally, the structure is as in other courses, right? You have the homepage with all the main information, who's responsible, who's in the course. Of course, that will change and be amended. subsequently. Some tutorials you want to acquaint yourself with, not in the sense that you're doing them, but in the sense you know they're there. They're resources used independently, because the lectures here are not like a code camp. It's not like we guide you through all the individual steps, but actually expect when we talk about lighting that you read up on it a bit yourself, right? And if you have particular problems and how to have C++ interact, for example, with OpenGL, how that is actually happening, right? Because all our environments are slightly different, right? Some of you use Windows, some of you use Linux, some of you use Mac. Who's using Mac? It's always one. Always. Just in the sign. Well,
That's good news, I guess.
no Mac? Okay, lucky you. Ah, there's a Mac. Okay. Right.
No, not me.
Okay. You know someone who uses Mac? Okay. So Mac is a bit tricky usually, graphics, or at least in this context, because but of course it's not contextualized, just giving you an overview of what's in there. It's from 2013, but it captures all the essence about OpenGL, what you need to know in this area. Debuggers, I think Carl will talk about debugging in graphics context later, right? But first talk about C++ in debugging perhaps, so before we go into deep, but I think those are just the pointers. And one thing that Paul Anders will decide with you, but you can come forth already, is you need an evaluation group. You guys are acquainted with this concept. 3 to 4 people. Well, I think the number's arbitrary, but minimum 3 that meet 3 times during the course and give feedback with respect to the course. Right? Is anyone interested right now already to be part of this evaluation group? Well, it's not something with urgency. I think that can be negotiated over time, right? So anyone who wants, but it's important that we have this, because the key to improving course is feedback, right? So it's very important to collect feedback. So we like those evaluation groups, and we actually respond to it. So it's not in vain.
Send us a heads up if you decide you want to. Otherwise, yeah, we'll figure it out later.
Yeah. Paul Anders, I think you plan to stream the lectures, right? So as in the past. So there's already a link to a playlist. It's not the usual GitLab playlist. It's a different one. The reason is that sometimes the graphics course is overlapping with other courses that are streaming as well. So in the past we had the issue that we're overlapping or interfering with our streams. And since the course here is quite valuable in terms of content, the lectures in particular, we want to be able to review those. It's very important that we'll have this. So please follow this link to get to the playlist. Usually after a lecture, this will be maintained, but you can watch it live as well on the corresponding channel, which is called BPROG-Streams, which you obviously get to because the playlist is situated there. Good. What else did we talk about? Discord. Yay. You guys know Discord? Cool. Invite yourself into the Discord channel so you can discuss there and so on. I think Carl is fairly active there, right? So you used this in the past. So one way of interaction. The other thing about GitLab that was quite popular, or that we used in this course in the past a lot, is issues, right? So issue tracking, basically once you're a member of this GitLab project, you can interact with this both by potentially contributing to the wiki, so you can actually change the wiki if you want to. Note, everything is versioned, so this way we control any possible attack on our valuable content. But if you find a typo, if you want to add additional links, you want to fix something, link is broke, whatever, just go for it. I think that's the idea, to be a bit inclusive in that respect, right? But for announcements and for discussions of issues and pointers to literature or whatever else, there's an issue system here where you can post new issues, and conversely, the system will also be used to, for example, provide announcements. So to do that, there's labels. So we use labels a lot. I'm not sure right now if everyone can introduce labels, but we need to do that again. Because in the past we had issues. Did anyone encounter this setup issue in Windows, right, with respect to OpenGL and C++? And then if you tag it accordingly, it's a lot easier for others that have similar issues probably to find it quickly, right? So if you have a different platform, of course, you may have slightly different issues. So use labels extensively, and for announcements in GitLab, at least that was how we did in the past, we always use the announcement label in the issue tracker. The important thing, however, is when you sign up, is that you subscribe to those corresponding labels. If you don't subscribe to the labels, you will not get notifications. unless you constantly press F5 and pull the issue tracker, you probably want to get an email if something relevant is announced to you. So once you sign up, at least subscribe to the announcement one, but possibly also to other labels. The labels will change and edit over time. That's generally, demand oriented. I'm not sure if you can introduce labels. I think we constrained this because else we had like a lot of arbitrary or overlapping labels. So to control this a bit better, that is constrained, but there will of course be flexibility over time. Good. So Paul Anders populated the wiki already with additional pages here. There are the pointers even to the assignments, but I think that's will be discussed closer to the time in more detail and go over it. So if you look at this now, it may be a bit overwhelming. So read it with this distance in mind. You're going to learn something before that happens. And certain other ones that are more on the FAQ levels. For example, how do I figure out the support of the OpenGL word for my machine? How do I get started with CMake, for example? How to install NVIDIA graphics drivers in Ubuntu? Classical problems you will encounter in the first week once you do the lab. And the idea is there to post more there, right? So if there are novel insights and so on, they could also be posted there, especially if they are kind of recurrent, they are frequently encountered. Exam, do you want to take this or should I take it? Up to you.
You
Okay.
can mention it while we're on it, maybe, and I'll just. Yeah.
So I'll just open this course is odd for one reason. Did anyone see this here yet? Is anyone scared by this? No? Oh, that's good. I would be.